Hey folks, it's Mr. Good. This is a video on how to use the virtual machine in cybersecurity. So lesson 1.1.2 is the first time you'll use it, but you'll use it in most of your lessons. And how you know you use it is after you do read the goals in the software, you'll see this symbol here, and they usually call it Security Lab. What I would recommend is even if it doesn't come up till like later in the lesson, right when you open up PLTW and you know you're working on 112, just start this thing because sometimes it takes like 5 minutes to spin up. And usually, if you haven't just logged in, it'll make you log in again. So I'm going to sign in, and then as soon as I sign back in, I'm going to go here and log back in. And this is the virtual machine. And it's going to take, hopefully they got it faster this year. Oh, geez. Okay. So it depends on like your internet settings, how many people are logged in at that time. So this one says approximate wait time 4 minutes, and it's going down. Sometimes it'll just load right up. It doesn't take all 4 minutes. Other times it does. So this is called a virtual machine. So real quick while it's spinning up, what is a virtual machine? It's basically a place where you can go and test out your ideas on cybersecurity, and you won't mess up a computer. Like I could go on this virtual machine and delete System 32, which normally would kill an entire computer, and I can just restart it and it'll be back to normal. Sometimes it's called, instead of virtual machine, you'll hear people refer to them as a sandbox, because kind of like a kid can go play in a sandbox and they're not going to hurt much, maybe eat a little bit of sand, and that's not good. But this is called a sandbox because you can go and play around in it and do a lot of things and not really have the danger of damaging your actual computer. So I'm going to pause the video here while this finishes loading, because I mean those are cool to watch, but you don't want to watch them for too long. So you can tell this takes a while. Just right when you open up your computer and you know you're going to be doing cyber, go ahead and spin up, come back a little later, and it'll be up and running. All right, so this is what happened. It probably got to like the 1.5 minute mark, and then it jumped and loaded up this screen. And basically what you're looking at is a computer within a computer. So this right here, if you've ever been on a Windows computer, which are pretty awesome, you got you have files. It has its own hard drive. You can open up Chrome, which is weird because I'm in Chrome to get to this page. So it's kind of Inception-like, where like if I open up this Chrome, I'm in a Chrome browser inside my Chrome browser. What you will find is you can't search everything. They put lockdowns on like what you're allowed to search in this virtual machine, for space restrictions and just security purposes. So, maybe I could look up, what does a wombat look like? And it gets me to wombats, which are, super cute animals. I can check out the images. Look at those. Oh my gosh. A lot bigger than you thought, huh? All right, anyway, I know it doesn't work exactly like your Chrome would because they put some restrictions on it. But you can see down here there's apps and stuff like this. You're going to be using something called PowerShell, which is like a terminal window later. You're going to be using Task Manager. You're going to be using your control panel. I hate Internet Explorer, so I probably won't be using that. Administrative tools. So I did want to give you a couple things, like what if something goes wrong? What if I'm supposed to be typing in here on Chrome and nothing works, right? So if I go to Chrome, and this happens to a lot of my students, like they'll go to type, I can type, but you'll go to type and you can't. Well, just hit this refresh button here, okay? If you go up here and do reset lab, that will lose everything you've had. If you go up here and hit this refresh button in your browser window, so not the fake browser, not the that thing. If you go up and hit this refresh, you're going to freak out for a second because you're going to be like, oh my gosh, it's going to wait another 5 minutes, but really it loads back up in like 20 seconds. So right now you're like, no, what did I do? And then a couple seconds later, it'll pop back in and you'll be in business again. So if you ever can't type, just hit refresh. If that doesn't work, that little wrench thing where you have to reset the lab, then it will actually take, the full time to spin up again. Now it's going to make a liar out of me and take the whole time to spin up again. Not cool, PLTW. All right, I guess. Oh, there it is. So it only took less than a minute to spin back up when I hit the refresh button. If I went in here and did the reset lab, it would have taken the full time. Now notice this, it's a little countdown timer. You only have, an hour and a half to work on a machine, because these are called little images, so it'll reset after that amount of time. So if you went away and had lunch and came back, you probably wouldn't have it there when you came back. Now you do have the option, I've done this before, where I've had to extend it, and you can like give yourself another hour or another hour and a half. So it is possible if you're running out of time and you don't want to lose anything. Let's see. So yeah, you can go into your files and check these out. It's just like you're on a computer. You can check your documents, what's in there. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. So it really is like using a computer in your computer. I'll show you a different time on how to get stuff from this virtual machine, this fake machine, actually onto your Chromebook. But I want to be on a Chromebook when I do it, and because it works different on my Mac than it does on your Chromebook. And it's really weird when you're in class and you work on a Windows machine and have Windows inside of Windows. It's just kind of weird. So yeah, that's the basics. I'll show you other special things once we get into actual lessons. But a lot of times your activities are here. So when you're in 1.1.2 and you need to do something with password projects, they're right here. If you want to, when you get to 1.1.3, you're going to go to 3 different things. They're all inside this activities lesson. So just be on the lookout for that. Activities is useful. I'll open this up and I'll be using some of these things when I go to my terminal in 1.1.2. So those are just some handy things. All right. Talk to you later.